Okay, I'm here at my favorite site for testing new equipment. The reasons are, as I always mention, is because I know the area, and if I had to bring the drone down anywhere, I would know where it's going to be at and I would be able to find it should, as the term goes, if shit should happen. So the drone that I'm working with today is the Mavic Pro. The last one that I did was with the Mavic Mini, and having the two types of drones, of course, gives me a lot more flexibility. Is that with the Mini, I'm not bound by regulations, only common sense. Whereas with the larger drones over 250 and above, I'm bound by regulations. So first thing that I'm going to do is remove my gimbal protector. That's the device right there. Very important thing. Then open up the drone. Just do all kind of my pre-flight stuff. Check my blades. And even though this is a new drone, still it's good to be in the habit of checking everything. Do a physical. Make sure there's still no tags left over. Now the Mavic Pro 2 has sensors front, back, side, and bottom, but there are limitations. Those are just aids. It's never good to sit and depend on them. Okay, having done that, is to pull out the old phone, and what I'm going to do first is disable my airplane, put that on. Okay, now that might not be good because it's telling me Wi-Fi connection not allowed. Anyway, I'm going to see what happens. I might have to go back and return that on. The thing I don't like is getting a call while I'm flying. It kind of distracts me, one, and the other is that I don't know how it's going to affect. So okay, having done that, pull the controller, 100% battery. I never start a flight without 100%. That's both on the battery and on the craft. Okay, so now plug in the phone. I like this concept that DJI has done. You always got to do things so you don't break things. Being gentle is the key. Okay, verifying that everything's nice and secure. Extend my antennas. Set the craft down. Put my glasses on. I've got to do both here. Activate the craft. Okay, get my app going. And now it's just for wait. Enter device. Connect your craft. Okay, it's all kind of giving me all this kind of stuff. Okay, next. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to get out of this, and I have to turn, I have to deactivate the airplane mode off. Okay, we have connection. Go fly. So I'm going to do a compass calibration. Okay, telling me to calibrate the compass. So rotate craft. Make sure that I'm far away enough. goes down. So everything looks good on my map.
Take off.
So doing my test, pre-flight test. Earlier I did the physical check of the craft. Down, up, yaw to the starboard side. Yaw to the port side. Oh, it sounds like I could do some square dancing here. And check the gimbal. Once again, up, down, forward, reverse, left, excuse me, left, yeah. Starboard move, port side move. Okay, so now I'm starting my flight. Slow ascent. Well, not really a slow ascent. Like I say, this is a flight trial, a new product. You know, before you really try anything, you know, it's good to get familiar with what you're using and to see where your limitations are. Like I say, I use the same area for doing any flight trials or flight test, and the logic is that if something goes wrong, you know, I know that I can retrieve the drone rather than go to some unfamiliar area and something happens and there's a difficulty in you know, trying to locate the drone. So here I'm looking at the smoothness of doing a circular pan. The objective is not to be jerky and to do it at a relatively, you know, comfortable speed. Even though I have my settings, you know, set, still I have to do this manually, and it's a sensory thing. If you put too much pressure on the joystick, you know, you'll pan quicker, and that takes away from the effect, or at least I think. Now I am pointing towards the southeast. That's the St. John River that you see, and doing another port side yaw, and again, just observing what the craft is doing. I am keeping it in line of sight at all times. Again, it's in case, you know, something happens that I have to bring it down, you know, quickly. I can find it. So that's the northern part, and that's the city of Fredericton that you see in the background there, which is actually west of me. So there I'm raising and lowering my camera, the gimbal, again, just to get the feel of what it can do, how fast it's responding. Now that area that we're looking at right there, that is typically flooded in the spring, especially when we had our major floods in 73, 2008, 2018, and 2019. Yeah, just recently we had a lot of rain, and parts of that was, you know, flooded, which is unusual for this time of the year, but, you know, Mother Nature has its way of doing things. So now I have my camera pointed down, and, you know, I'm looking, you know, to see how smooth the craft is. You know, I've used other drones, and no matter how hard I try to do something smoothly, I just can't. Now right now I'm not using any of the built-in technology except for GPS. So I'm coming off of Ross Terrace onto Watson Drive, and of course coming close to Riverside Drive, and we have the Norfolk Motel in front of us. And anyway, from what I'm seeing, I'm quite pleased with the Mavic 2 Pro, or DJIMavicPro2, whatever you want to call it, Queen Court. Nice, good fellow down there behind the truck, know him very well. Great personality. So again, you know, the patterns, you know, looked familiar. Again, camera test. But like I say, I'm not trying for any exotic footage or anything like that at this time. It's just to get a feel on how the craft, you know, functions, and just the feel of it, because no two drones fly the same. You know, I've had the, you know, I started out with the Husbands, and then I had the Spark, and then the Evo, and then the Mavic Mini, and now this one. And yeah, they all kind of have their own peculiarities, and it's to know that before, you know, doing some serious footage. You see somebody burning something down back there. You know, every once in a while I was getting interference errors, and I suspect it has to do with a microwave there. I don't know if it'll come back up on the screen or not, but there's a microwave tower up on the horizon, and it seems to be when I'm at a particular height, almost in line with that microwave tower, that I'm getting that problem. Of course, Barks Point way in the background there. Again, that area that you see there during the flood, that's all water. I mean, and what's something that I'm researching out right now is the legalities of filling that in, which seems to be becoming a practice where developers are starting to fill in the lowlands so they can build their condos and make a whack of money. Of course, there's something that's inherently wrong with that. If anyone understands, you know, displacement, you know, if you displace 5 hectare acres of water, well, that 5 hectare acres of water has got to go somewhere. But again, I'm in the early stages of, you know, trying to find what that's all about. So far, I've talked with the with one counselor in regards to it, and according to him, that's a provincial matter, but I think it's more of a federal. But, you know, time will tell as I do my researching. I say I'm quite impressed on the smoothness. Again, I have to be delicate with the controls. I can't, you know, do, because it is very, very sensitive. If I put too much pressure, it's going to, you know, things are just going to, you know, happen quickly, and you know, I'll get that jerkiness, which that is something that I'm trying to avoid. And of course, the better that I do it in during the flight, the less post-production time that I have to spend. Now, one of the things you can see, I mean, I did this, it was around 3:30 in the afternoon, or 100 hours, and so I have two things working against me. Is that I'm losing lighting, and the other is that it's considerably, you know, it's overcast. So, and plus there's not many colors out there, so it's hard to get some good vibrant footage. No matter, you know, what I do. Now, I recorded everything in log on my video, and raw log on my stills, which gives me a lot more latitude to work with when I'm doing post-production work. Yeah, in the background there you see that microwave tower there. It's stuck way out back there, and I think that's the fellow that was giving me that gives me problems when I get in a certain position. It, like I say, it tells me interference, and of course I don't like that idea. So I'm coming close to the end of my flight thing, so my final thing will be the thing that I kind of like to do around, is to pick my favorite street light and navigate up and around it. And why I chose that particular street light, because there's some trees on the other side, so you know, I have to work with precision as I'm trying to, you know, orbit this street light. And once again, I'm not using any of the built-in technologies to do this. I mean, I could, and it would make life a lot easier, but my philosophy is learn to do things manually and then use your technology. I've used that for you know, for boating. I've learned how to use a compass, a sextant, GPS and Lorenz is all nice, but if that technology fails, you got to have, you know, the old school stuff, the compass and the sextant will always get you to where you're going. Well, it's the same kind of thing here. If you don't depend on your technology and you can do things manually, if anything happens, you know, you can bring the craft back, or at least land it in a retrievable place. So I'm slowly, you know, playing around near that light, and also too, I've got a line of sight, so I can see visually how far the drone is, and relative to the monitor. Now, keep in mind that there is a time lag from if I use only the monitor. So that's why it's important to keep, you know, both visual. So to conclude, this drone is performing very well. I think that in the upcoming videos I will be able to produce some very good qualities kind of stuff. So till next time, this is Andre Faust. Take care and have a good one.